So about this renewal of warrantless spying, domestic warrantless spying on American citizens, when we reported on it last night, we went through the history of how this program came to be and how the law that legalized it also came to be, because I think most people don't remember the history. I'm sure you do because you were in Congress at the time. But this was a program that Bush and Cheney authorized in 2002 and kept it a secret. The New York Times divulged it in 2005, won a Pulitzer for doing so. And at the time, it was a huge scandal. The idea that the NSA was spying on Americans without the warrants required by law. There was talk of impeaching George Bush. And then under Nancy Pelosi, the solution that the Congress embraced was to retroactively legalize warrantless spying on American citizens. That is the law that has subsequently been renewed, and Congress is ready to renew it as long as there was just some reform to it, including requiring a warrant. The vote failed by 212 to 212. Obviously had a lot of support, not just from Republicans, but also Democrats. In fact, more support for this bill from Democrats than Republicans. What does this say about the nature of the bipartisan political class in Washington, that they're holding hands, uniting? It was Mike Johnson as Republicans' House Speaker working with the Biden White House to ensure the continuation of warrantless eavesdropping.
Well, Mike Johnson's a constitutional attorney, and I think he would know better. Maybe his tenuous position has caused him to rethink. But let's look at it this way. Start with the FBI. In 2021, they had over 3 million FISA searches of Americans. In 2022, there were hundreds of thousands of queries, or rather hundreds of queries per day. And in 2020 and in 2021, the FBI conducted over 278,000 searches of the 702 database, which is a clear violation of their own rules. So this national security state is a danger to our Constitution. It opens the door to a police state. Had I been in Congress, I would have broken that tie, and the Biggs Amendment would have passed. I will tell you, Glenn, that my experience in Congress, seeing this, being in briefings where intelligence operatives would lie to Congress, watching Congress spying, or rather watching the intelligence agencies spying on Congress. Look what happened with Senator Feinstein and her Intelligence Committee. I myself had an incident where one of the intelligence agencies intercepted a phone call to my office, violating the separation of powers, and then turned around and gave the actual recording to a DC newspaper so that they could see the conversations I had to try to stop an escalation of the war against Libya. So, at the beginning of each Congress, members of Congress are asked to sign an oath that they will not divulge any classified information. I stopped signing that because the whole thing is a charade. And if you sign it and suddenly you take a position and they say, well, look what you did. You divulged classified information. It's a gotcha moment. I mean, the government lied about Iraq. They've cost this country trillions of dollars with the lies. And frankly, for me, there is such a thing as truth. There is such a thing as being true to one's country. And one way you can do it is you have to see through the lies. And these are eyes that can see through the lies.